everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Laura. Today I am bringing to you some decorated Christmas sugar cookies. Great thing to make with the kids if they like to decorate cookies. These cookies are delicious. I know sometimes there are some decorated cookies that they're just for decorating. These are actually some very delicious cookies that I'd like to share the recipe with you. We are going to go ahead and break this video up into 2 portions. We're going to make the dough and then we're going to decorate them. I hope you enjoy the content. If you are new here, welcome. I sure hope you consider hitting that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and you will be notified every time I upload a video. If you're a regular here, thank you for spending time with me. I know you have lots of options and I appreciate you. I will leave the recipe guys linked in the description box below and any items I may have used. If you have any questions as far as the recipe, leave me a comment down below and I will get back with you. Let's go ahead and jump on into this video. Okay, the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to cream our butter. This is room temperature butter. And our sugar, our vanilla, and our almond extracts. Now I will recommend, if you're going to use vanilla, to use the clear vanilla, because if you use the dark vanilla, it'll tint your dough, and in this kind of decorating cookie you really want to have a light dough, so I would recommend that. Okay, we're going to whip this up until light and creamy before we add our egg. So here we go. Okay, right about this point, when you're just about a minute in, you want to knock everything off to make sure that everything is getting incorporated nicely. Okay, so here we go again. Okay, that should be good. We're going to add in our egg. And the egg should be at room temperature as well. Okay, here we go. All right, now we're going to add in our flour. Okay, now before we add our flour to our dough, I am going to add the salt and the baking powder. And give that a mix. Just slightly. And we're going to start adding it to the cream mixture a little bit at a time. The good thing about this dough is that you do not have to chill it before rolling. You can use this right away, and I love that. Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and start adding it in. Okay, here we go with the flour. Alrighty, and that is it. We have the dough here, as you can see. At this point it would be very easy to roll, but I like to get everything else ready before I start rolling out my cookies. So I like to get the icing ready and just everything ready. I'm just gonna wrap it up with some saran wrap, place it in the refrigerator till I'm ready for it. And I like to work in smaller pieces, so I'm gonna cut it into 3 pieces, individual pies. For the icing, one thing I will definitely recommend is that you sift your powdered sugar. The worst thing to run into is lumps. Once you get your icing into the bags, it can turn into disaster. So please sift your powdered sugar. We are going to add powdered sugar here. So we're just going to sift it. Okay, now to this, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of milk. Try not to overdo it on anything because more is not better in this recipe. If you add too much, it'll be too loose and it'll just run over your cookies and it's not going to be good. And then we need some corn syrup, which gives it the shine. And then we need our extract. Now you can add the extract of your choice. The almond or the vanilla. Try not to put too much. Don't overpower the flavor of the cookies. And then we just give everything a good whisk. You can always add, but you can't take away. And you can easily double or triple this recipe if you're going to do a lot of cookies. See, that's really the consistency that you want. It runs, but yet it doesn't fall into itself right away. It still kind of holds there. So that's really what we want. Okay, so now I have my food coloring here. By this time, you should have decided what kind of cookies you're going to make. trees, stockings, Santas, whatever. I think with my cookies, these are all the colors I'm going to need. Red, green, not blue, but black, and whatever else colors you're going to need. Well, you're going to break it up into the bowls that you need. We are going to break it up. Now, the black is probably the least that I'm going to need. So I'm just going to use very, very little for the black. Okay, I'm going to do the black one first. So these are gel food colorings. These work best with this type of icing. You can use the other ones, but you loosen up the icing too much and then it kind of gets ruined. And the black, I will warn you, it does take it a little longer to come together. I don't know why. I think it's just the pigment. So you kind of have to let it sit for just a little bit so that the color can really get dark. Okay, that one's ready. And just out of habit, I cover my bowls right away so that the icing doesn't dry up on me. Now let's do the green. Okay, I'm gonna get my piping bags and tips and we will be right back. Alrighty everybody, we're gonna start to roll out the dough. We're gonna take just a little bit of flour and dust our work surface. The less flour you can apply to this, the better. Okay, so the first thing I do with this, instead of starting to roll it right away, I start to pound it down just to extend it as much as I can and roll it around so that it's not sticking. If you absolutely need more flour, go ahead and add it. Okay, and then we take our rolling pin and you're gonna roll this till it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. I personally like my cookies a little bit thicker. I just think they look prettier. Now I have a variety of cookie cutters here. We're gonna use the snowman and the Christmas trees. That's what I'm gonna use. You can use whatever you like. You just start pressing them down. Start placing them on your cookie sheet there. Just try to get them as close as possible. The dough, keep your bench scraper handy and see how easy they slide off, and then we just put them over here. Roll the dough back up and just keep going till you're done. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to pop them into 350-degree oven for about 13 minutes and we will be right back. Alrighty guys, the cookies are ready. Clean hands, of course. I've got all my little things here. I've got some paper plates for some sprinkles. I will recommend you get a wet towel to have so you can wipe your hands because this stuff gets pretty sticky. I have some piping bags and I have our icing that we are going to put into the piping bags. So we're going to do that first. Now the piping bag, I do get these little fittings that I put for the bags just to make it easy for your tips, because I would recommend the piping tips to use these with that. You get the piping bag, insert the first part. Let me put this little plate here so it doesn't fall on our cookies. Cut the tip off. So cut little pieces at a time. It's better to cut less than too much. Okay, push your little cobbler. It's called a cobbler. And then you get your piping tip. I would suggest numbers 3, 2, and 3. It depends on the detail that you want. And then you just insert the screw top right there. Tighten it up. And this way, if you need to change your tip, you don't have to fill another bag or whatever. You can just take it off and change your tip. I just keep them covered with some plastic wrap or a little Ziploc bag, whatever you have, just so that it doesn't dry out on you. And then you take your little spoon, always mix it up. See how it kind of tends to dry up a little bit, but all you have to do is mix it again. And of course, if you have to add water, you're gonna add the very, very, very minimal amount. See how it's dripping? I think it's of good consistency. So I'm gonna put it into the bag. Squeeze down all the icing to the bottom. And it's already pouring out. So what I do is I have these little ties. I order all this stuff on Amazon. I will link it below. And that's just so your icing doesn't get out from the top. And then just set it aside. And that's it, and do all of them. So I'm gonna do all of these. have our icing. I have some sprinkles. I just have a variety of them. I have little trees, just plain old. And most of the time I buy these after Christmas. I have these little dots like for Christmas tree decorations. I get these at the 99-cent store, little stars, little boots. Use whatever you like, that's up to you. Okay, I'm gonna move this to the side, bring our cookies back. Just decide how you wanna decorate them and that's it. So I'm gonna start with this little tree. So I'm gonna move these to the side so you can see what I'm doing. And it's a lot of fun, guys. It's, you know, this is the time to reflect on your year and think about all the things you want to improve for the coming year. Just relax while you're doing it and, you know, or do it with the kids. Let them have some fun. You'll be surprised. Kids are real creative. I'm going to take my green. As you can see, it'll pipe out right away. And what you want to do with this is just pipe it around first and then fill it in if you want to. But don't let the first stream touch the tree. So you're going to go down. I hope you can see that. I'm not letting the tip touch the actual cookie. See? And I mean, you can just do that, put a little star on it, whatever you want. I actually had some ideas on my phone, but I'm just gonna go with it. You know, we're just gonna fill it in if you want to. Give it a little wiggle and it'll start to settle. You see how it's already settling? And you don't want to put too much icing because then it'll take too long to dry. And this is not the royal icing that dries right away. This takes a little while. For completely dry cookies, you want to leave them overnight. Let them sit on the table. Don't stack them on top of each other. And then I am going to pour out some sprinkles on a plate. And just use whatever you want. Then I just take my little tweezers and just start to add my little decorations. And that's it. I mean, you go as far as you want to. That's totally up to you. Be as creative as you want to. I'm not very creative, so I can't really come up with these bomb cookie decorations like I see some people, but that's just my version of my little tree. So I'm just gonna sit here and create different ones, and I'm just gonna let you keep watching. Here are my finished decorated cookies. I'm not a professional, guys, by no means, as you can tell, but I just love to sit here and decorate cookies and have fun with it. It's relaxing. You know, get the kids involved, the husband, make it a family night. Let's get off the electronics and have some family time. You know, make it what you want. Have fun with it. I'm gonna have the recipe and all the items that I used linked in the description box below. Take a look there. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments and I will get back with you. Don't forget, thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. I will see you on the next one. Bye.